episode of Crosstown Psychic. One of my favorite all-time guests, Andrew Wood Fritz of Greenlight.yoga. He has opened a psychic school in Dillon, Colorado, but it is available globally, online, open for classes. I'd like to welcome Andrew Wood Fritz to the show. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Hi, Erin. Thanks for having me. Always good to be back.
Well, I have a load of questions for you, and thank you for being on today. So you have newly launched within the past year or so a psychic school.
Yep.
And it's completely online. It happens to be located in Colorado, but you are teaching. How do you teach psychic students online, and what inspired you to open a psychic school? I'm sorry, that's two questions from the beginning. I'm just so excited. I want to ask it all.
That's okay. Yeah, so I started teaching under Greenlight Yoga the beginning of 2020, the end of January. Mm-hmm. And yeah, everything's been completely online. It kind of started part-time while I was working another full-time job, and this whole pandemic happened. And it was one of those moments where lost my full-time job, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go full steam ahead with Greenlight Yoga. That's kind of where it left me.
Exploded, right?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, not exactly as big as our dog walking I've had in the past, but yeah, so I definitely experienced a growth spurt, which has been nice. So yeah, everything's taught online right now. We're going to hold off maybe till we'll see where things are at, maybe next year sometime, like spring, kind of late spring, looking to open up a physical space in that Silverthorne, Dillon area.
And it's a beautiful, I looked it up online. It's a beautiful area of the country. It's got mountains, it's got water, it's got trails, it has fresh air, just paradise.
Yeah, no, it's great to be, we got a trail right out in front of our apartments. There's a river right there. So it's just, you feel the earth energy right there once you step out. I think that's what's so inviting to everybody that comes up here. I think a lot of people come up from Denver and second homeowners, but I think they just enjoy the earth energy up here, so.
And maybe to the casual viewer, do you mind me asking you, I mean, you don't have to teach a whole class, but what is earth energy? I mean, it should be self-explanatory, but to someone who's watching, you know, someone who's maybe interested in psychic school or learning psychic information, what is earth energy? I mean, I actually know the answer, but I want to ask you.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I teach a meditation series, and in the second class, there's a class, or some of the topics would be earth and cosmic energies. So earth energy, it's energy of the earth. It's a neutral healing energy. And there's different types of earth energies. You got to kind of think about, where do you go in nature? Kind of what do you naturally gravitate towards? Some people, go fishing at the lake, or go hiking in the mountains, go hang out by the beach. Some people like to hang out just kind of in rural America. Yeah, volcanoes, islands. Yeah. So there's all these different types of earth energy, and you can, when you go on these hikes or go camping, you're kind of just naturally in touch with it, and it feels good. We get away, and it helps just kind of clear our mind and get some space and clarity and new perspective. But I teach in that second class how to pull that earth energy in and run it through the energy system within that physical body to really heal yourself.
Yeah, so. And it's an abundant resource. Even if you live in a concrete jungle, you can still pull in earth energy, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I used to live in Chicago, and the beauty is being right next to that lake, and you can pull in that energy from that lake. So that's what really helped me stay grounded, was that lake when I was there.
Yeah. And it's in the back here. I've been getting just massive doses of earth energy, and it's been so healing up here in Michigan, getting away from Chicago for a little bit.
Right.
And it's a whole other healing vibration just being around it just feels like a palace of trees. And all the animals, and being able to communicate with the animals, and that's been a wild experience.
Nice.
So what can I ask, what inspired you to open a psychic school? Have you always wanted to do it? what made you pull the trigger?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think art has always been like my number one interest and focus in life.
Mm-hmm.
But when I moved to Chicago and I found a psychic school there, the moment I walked in, I was already asking about, I kind of knew, part of me already knew that I wanted to teach. Um, and I thought about it when I got to the end of my year-long training, and it just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really the right time. It took me maybe another year until I actually started teaching on my own, which I believe was in North Carolina. I was teaching in person and online, and
I remember that.
yeah, and yeah, I don't know. It just calls to me. It's like one of those things where it's just like I have to do it. It's just something that I love. I love teaching people. I love watching people heal and discover themselves and grow and learn. I think that's my favorite part, is watching people change. So.
And one of my favorite parts about watching you teach and evolve over the years is seeing the structure of, full disclosure, you gave me a dream opportunity to co-teach
Yep.
the upcoming class, and we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But the incredible wisdom that's packed into the structure and how you've gotten it down to a science, and
Yeah.
each class is really bullet pointed and thought out with the space for the students to have their experience and to interact with each other and within a structure. It's this wild thing to learn your psychic abilities, but to have a structure and a boundary and a container around it.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something that's kind of come over the years. Like a couple of years back, I had a kind of a certain structure, and it's just kind of slowly evolved over the years. And I've kind of got, this year-long clairvoyant training kind of set the way I like it. I got some other trainings also set. But the fun thing is that when I continue to grow and evolve and change, so does the training. So it's like the training will just get better year after year. And it's not to say that it's not great now, but it will just continue to get better and better as I make the changes within myself and to continue to grow and learn. That's the fun part about it.
It really has. And watching you teach, and I've been able to do some joint sessions with you.
Yeah.
That's an experience, and to see you teaching, and you were always a wise soul, but then the evolution that's apparent in how you read and how you work with professional clients, as well as how you teach. It's just it's been cool to see you come into that real master sort of ruler archetype, teacher archetype, the sage. It's like kind of done with the seeker. You're still seeking in your own way, but now you're, to me, the sage.
Right.
And we'll see. And there is a yoga component to the school. I'm guessing that your wife, the lovely Heather Fritz, she commands that part.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. A couple of years ago, she got certified, and she likes to primarily teach vinyasa, but she also teaches yin and hatha. But yeah, we offer, like, I want to say maybe 13 classes a week. So it's all live stream classes via MindBody online. So people can do like memberships, drop-ins, private sessions.
MindBody is a platform.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
And Heather has a real lightness and a sense of humor to, and it, like, don't take yourself too seriously. You can just have fun doing yoga. And she's very good at it.
Yeah. No, she is. Yeah. No, yeah. It's amazing to watch her. That kind of that carefree, very lighthearted energy and the humor, and which is, I think that's key in being able to teaching, having that amusement. Especially when you're teaching, say, a clairvoyant class or meditation class or just yoga, people are going through that growing and changing, and sometimes that humor helps that process along.
Sure thing. I never underestimate the power of amusement, even if it's fake, even if it's like fake laughter.
Right. Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
We're not doing any fake laughter here, but
no.
but actual amusement.
Yeah. Yep.
I've watched you be inspired by different teachers, and I wonder if you can talk about who have your heroes, whether they're, you know, clairvoyant heroes or just heroes in general in your life, who have been your heroes that maybe have spilled into your teaching or inspired you.
Yeah. I mean, kind of actually thought about this recently. Um, I'd say there's like three core people that really influenced me in a huge way. I'd say the first one would be Ryan Fukuda. So he was my roommate back in college, and yeah, um, and he's kind of what, you know, before that I was never really spiritual or was aware of any of this type of stuff,
Mhm.
energy work or meditation, and he kind of opened up to me about it in kind of our second semester and mentioned about meditation and energy work. So I really have him to thank to kind of open that door for me because that was huge.
You were
Um,
roommates in college,
yep, yeah,
and he found the psychic school and was like, "What do you think?"
yeah, yeah. That's exactly it. He found the school. I don't know where he went somewhere, and he got a business card um, from Ken Jones, and that's when we went to the school and
Mhm.
got readings. And I was like, "Whoa, how did you do that?" And it just kind of took off from there. So I would say he's number one kind of person that influenced me, opened that door. The
When you say
second,
got readings, you got clairvoyant readings of your aura.
yeah, our readings. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
then
there
I'd
was
say,
no looking back after that, would you say? Or
no,
was
I
there
mean that.
hesitation?
No, there was no hesitation. I mean, I just immediately knew like this is what I have to do. I mean, I didn't know what I was getting into or why or any of that kind of stuff. It was just an extreme knowing of, okay, I have to do this. And that I think I had that speck of awareness. Like it was a very small speck of awareness, but I had it, um, in my hometown. Like I just knew that there was something more that I had to leave. I didn't know why or where I was going or what it was all about,
Yeah.
but Chicago was the next step, and then that kind of led me to Ryan and eventually that school. Um, but really, even before that school, I would say like the second person that influenced me would be Michael Tamara. So I read his book, You Are the Answer, um, and that I remember
Great
sitting in.
book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you haven't read the book, yeah, You're the Answer by Michael Tamara. Um, Really, that's one of those books you can just read it, put it down for a couple of years, reread it, and you'll learn something brand new.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I would go ahead.
It's not a cover to cover book for me. It's a, oh, wow, that's huge. Okay,
Yeah.
I need a nap now. I need to process.
Right.
I'm going to go have a growth period now.
All right, yeah,
I'm going to go
totally.
grow on that information for the next 2 weeks. Well, and
Yeah, yeah,
he's so happy and light about it, but also very grounded.
yeah, yeah. He's another person where you see him in his interviews, like on YouTube videos, podcasts, and yeah, just a lot of humor and amusements. So that's what's
Yeah.
really cool to see. Um, but I remember sitting down, reading his book, and that's when I became aware that, oh, I'm spirit. I'm a spiritual being, and I have a body. And I remember sitting down, like crying, like reading that book and becoming aware of that. I was like, whoa! I could just like feel it. It was more than just a knowing, but it was also a feeling at the same time. Um, so that's the second person. The last person would be Ken Jones. So
Yeah.
he was the founder of Envision, and he taught a lot of my classes. I mean, I would say even his wife Natalia. Um, I
Mhm.
taught that's who taught my clairvoyant training when I was going through it. So that was just a huge year-long up and down roller coaster of change and growth and discovery and healing. So yeah, I would say those three or four people. Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all beloved teachers to me as well. Um, and if I can ask, I mean, this was the sort of nitty gritty of why I wanted to interview you was you're teaching this fall, the clairvoyant class.
Yep.
I'm going to be co-teaching
Yep.
with you. And maybe you could talk a little bit. I'm over the moon excited about being able to teach. And what is it you want people to know about clairvoyant class? Not like give away all of the class, but
Yeah.
what do you want people to know that are watching this, that are curious about their own psychic abilities, or curious about learning to, I mean, do you learn to be psychic, or is it, would you say it's more something that's there that you help sharpen?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so everyone comes in at kind of a different level, or just based on their background and experience. But I mean, I think being psychic is kind of a natural human experience, right? So I
Yeah.
think that most people can relate to that, that clairsentient ability to feel energy. When they meet new people, go to new places, job interviews, first date, you know, you're feeling the energy. You got that spidey sense kind of going, and you're kind of, oh, okay, good vibe, bad vibe. It's that gut feeling. I think
Mm.
most people can relate to that. They might not call it psychic, but I think they could say, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Um, but then I would say the average person might not be aware is that we have these higher abilities, different ways to perceive energy outside of
Hmm.
feeling the energy. And that might be hearing energy, maybe kind of just getting in touch with the spirit world and hearing voices, getting communication that way. It might be hearing like sound wave of just hearing the energy vibrating. Um, you might see with clairvoyance, so this whole training, it covers all these abilities, but the focus is clairvoyance. So that's just that ability to see yourself, others, the world, humanity, just with clarity as it is. Um, but also the ability to see colors, symbols, mental image pictures, just to read energy on that visual level. And
Yeah.
that's the main focus is kind of what I've noticed. It's very easy. You know, some people might walk in the training and it's already kind of turned on, and for some it might be kind of
Yeah.
shut off, and it's just a matter of getting it turned back on. I've seen it very commonly with psychic abilities in, you know, childhood, where just a very simple invalidation can just kind of shut it down, or just it's not
Right.
safe, or there's no permission for spirit really in the household, or just the general community. Then you just kind of shut them down, and then you end up at a, you know, a psychic training like this, and you learn to just get it turned on and use that to really look at finding your energy and truth.
That's that's beautiful. Um, and not to stump the witness here, but I wonder what you would say to someone that is interested in a clairvoyant class, or interested in coming to a school where they learn to turn on their intuition more so, or get their arms around the intuitive piece, the psychic piece. But so I had a client the other day who said, you know, I've never seen mental images.
Mm,
And I'm like, really? For sure? Are you sure? Maybe you saw it really fast and don't remember. But someone who has incredible gifts
yeah.
and incredible perception of energy. And I invited this person to look from the mind's eye, and this individual said back, like, I've never seen anything from my mind's eye.
Hmm.
And but is also very interested in, you know, attending a school or taking classes or learning.
Yeah.
What might you say to someone who's watching that says, yeah, I want to learn this, but I don't have clairvoyant abilities, so it's not for me, or or just I don't see from my mind's eye.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Not
I
to
would,
stump the witness.
no, no. So a part of this training, there's weekly classes, and then there's also weekly reading sessions. And the reading sessions are really where you get to start learning to read your own aura, and then eventually read other people. But when you get into these reading sessions, what can happen is you can start to see colors, symbols, you can see mental image pictures, and
Yeah.
these mental image pictures could be memories. They could also be very metaphorical, which
Yeah.
most of the time they are, which is very similar to dreams. So I'd say, you know, well, if you've recalled a memory, you know, you have a flash of a memory out in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
in a way you're using that clairvoyant ability. Or for the people that have read books or just avid readers, when you're reading the book, you know, even though your eyes are physically just kind of reading, you know, word to word, line to line, sometimes your imagination starts to kind of light up, and you're kind of, oh yeah, there's the castle in the background, and there's this fellow that kind of looks like this, and the beard and the scarf, and he's walking down, you know, this cobblestone road. And sometimes you just kind of got it there, and you might not be fully aware of it, but it is there. um, So yeah, it's all connected.
What Ken Jones had said to me once, we were learning to blow roses.
Yeah.
We were learning to blow like many roses at the same time, something like that. And I'm like, Ken, I can't see it. I can't see it. I might have been calmer about it, but he said, you know, you may have just blown. This is what he said. You may have just blown up 1,000 roses, but you did it so fast you didn't even know.
Yeah.
And I was like, that
Right.
like that landed for me. Really, that was super helpful. Because he's like, you're doing so fast, you don't even know you're doing it.
Yep.
And I don't mean that like show offy, but sometimes I wonder with people who say I don't see images. I wonder, maybe you just see them so fast, it's like no time, no space with energy.
Yeah.
Or they shut it down maybe as kids, and it's a matter of turning it back up.
Yeah. I mean, I think like you said, like it may have just happened so quickly. I mean, just that reminds me of like sometimes spirits. A spirit can enter a room and they can look like the size of a little BB, and it might be like a flash of blue or silver or white, and just flashes in the room real quick.
Yeah.
And then boom, it's gone. It happens so fast. It's just a matter of, were you aware in that quick second to see that flash? Same thing I think with what you're talking about with seeing the rose or the image or whatever you're looking at. But yeah, for some people, it just might be shut off. And it's not to say that the images aren't there. It's just a matter of, are you opened up to see it? And in some people, it might be this game of, okay, I'm going to open it up. Oh, nope, closing it down. And it's just, there's playing that game until they get comfortable. And really with these abilities is do you feel safe? I think the two biggest things here is, do you feel safe opening these abilities and working with them? And I think the other part that really helps is community, is having a community where people are going through something similar, can share those experiences and say, oh yeah, I'm going through this. Oh yeah, me too. I have something similar. I think communication is key. So.
And maybe I could ask you a little bit about the class size. I know you have a really specific, and just maybe to go backwards for a second.
Yeah.
One of the things I like very much about your style and in the style in which we were taught was, check it out for yourself. You know, just because someone says, oh, I think you just blew up 1,000 mental image roses, and you don't, if that wasn't my truth, it might not have landed. Or like, check it out for yourself. Is that true for you? And you're really great about saying, you know, this is what I see, but by all means, look at it for yourself.
Yeah.
So there is space in the school to do that, and in the classes. And I wonder if you can talk about the structure. How long are the classes? How many people do you want to be working with? And you talked about the community as well.
Yeah. So this is it's the language of spirit training. It's essentially a year-long clairvoyant training. So it's all about it touches upon, again, all the different psychic abilities, but mainly focusing on clairvoyance, kind of your third eye. But it also has a lot to do with, self-discovery and healing. The whole point is that if you want to make changes in your life, instead of looking outside of yourself, is that you look within yourself, say hello to that landscape within and make those adjustments. And then slowly the change will be reflected in those different aspects of your life, so to speak. But so there's weekly classes. It starts September 21st of this year. So that's Monday nights. And the first half of class will always be a review of just basic meditation techniques. So the prerequisite for this training would just be a basic meditation series, just learning how to ground and run earth and cosmic energy, work with the pineal gland, etc. So there's weekly classes. The first half is review. The second half, you're always learning new information. To me, that's, if I was going through a training, I want something new every class. I want to learn something new, be doing something new, but you're still getting that review. So if you feel like there's a certain thing in meditation you're not very great at, well, every class you get to review that and get better at that. So then there's weekly reading sessions. Those happen Saturdays. And they're just an hour long. And you start off for a while just learning to read your own aura. And the reason just focusing on reading yourself is just getting comfortable with just kind of looking at your energy and your pictures, and just getting comfortable with being in meditation and finding your own answers for yourself. Once you get kind of comfortable with that, then you kind of move on to learning to read other people. And that's when it gets even more interesting and exciting.
More growth periods.
Exactly, yeah. So got the classes, the reading sessions, and there's a monthly energy check. Happens once a month, can be scheduled anytime. And that's essentially where you or I can basically look at the students' basic meditation techniques. And they'll do it all in real time, just about 30 minutes. And it just gives us a little bit of clarity or insight of, hey, okay, this is what's going on where you're at with grounding, or here's how earth and cosmic energy looks. And just saying hello to real time.
So the student is actually going into meditation, and then you're reading them in meditation, looking at the different techniques and skills, like how is your grounding cord, how is your column of light, how is your gold sun energy, and so on, which is, you know, for some people that's a little mind-blowing. I know when we read people, we say, please keep your attention on yourself, don't go into meditation, we'll do the reading. But when someone does go into meditation, it's like a whole other ball game.
Right. Yeah, so they just get that real-time communication about those different abilities, and just kind of lights some things up, and they say, oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that. Now they're aware of it, and then they can kind of progress. From a teacher's perspective, say for you and I, it's a great opportunity to learn to read in the moment with the eyes open, and work on that ability.
So I wanted to ask one last thing before we get to how, you know, someone can check into the school and register if they want to, if they're interested. Any cool psychic stories you want to share?
Sure.
Or not, you know, you might want to keep that to yourself, but who knows? Any, you know, bizarre growth periods or unusual, interesting, what's it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there could be so many.
How much time do you have?
Right. I mean, I could touch on a couple just real briefly. I mean, growth period, that's something you'll encounter if you sign up for this training. It's a great commitment to change. So you're going to be going through growth periods, and they can be kind of intimidating at first. Like, whoa, what do you mean these growth periods? And at first it's just learning about, okay, what is it, you know, and how do I navigate it? How do I, you know, get through these growth periods? But essentially growth period is just when you make a change in spirit, and it takes time for your body to catch up to that change. That's a growth period, and you can feel it in different ways. That's the thing. You'll just kind of feel it. Sometimes you just know it coming, and then you start feeling it, and you're going through the motions of it. But I think everyone has their own way of kind of getting through those growth periods. I think it gets easier over time, even though that the growth periods get bigger. You get kind of used to it, and you kind of learn, okay, this is what I have to do to kind of manage this. And I don't think I really appreciated growth periods when I was first going through it. But now I do, because I know, oh, okay, I'm growing towards something that, you know, I really desire to have in my life, or to experience, or whatever that might be. But sleep, food, meditation, journaling, being creative, exercising, water, staying hydrated, all really helpful things getting through growth periods. One cool one, I would say, so there's one night where I was doing, this is before I even went into like an astral body training. I just had a knowing of how to do it, and I was working on someone, and I just had this feeling that, oh, I think I might die tonight. And I know from some people might be, listening to this, be like, what? Not physically dying, nothing like that. But it just a knowing, I just was like, oh, I thought there's this energy of dying. And I knew something interesting was going to happen. And sure enough, I fell asleep and was unconscious. And then suddenly I became alert and conscious and aware. And it was
like a lucid dream.
No, this was more of an out-of-body experience where I was just in pure darkness. I had no idea what was going on. And then I started to look down, and I started to see light, and I was like, what is this light? And it was, a street light from the city street. And then I look down and I can see through the roof of the building. I can see through the ceiling of the apartments, and I could see the people in that apartment. And I was like, oh, interesting. And then what really freaked me out was when I saw my physical body lying on the ground sleeping. Um, so at that point, I already knew I was a spiritual being with a body. It's just that confirmed it on a different level, just that experience of it. And then I, of course, woke up after that.
I've never heard that story.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
On a last one, I guess would be a lucid dream. I was traveling on the road.
It's kind of your thing. You've really taken an interest in lucid dreaming and the astral world, the astral projection, and so on.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's all these different avenues to really heal yourself and discover more about yourself and just have fun. And I think clairvoyance and lucid dreaming and astral projection are all really great ways to do that. But
yeah,
I remember I was practicing it while I was traveling on the road, and there was one night where I was having this dream where I was on the top of a hill in this dream, and I just knew something was off, like something was up. And so I was like, well, okay, I'm going to go down the hill and just investigate. And as I was going down the hill, I saw two people, and I also saw this like structure, this small building. So I pass them, I get to the bottom of the hill, and then I find that there's nothing. And I was like, okay, well, that was silly. And I went to turn around and look back up the hill, and those two people in the building just completely disappeared. And I thought, like, whoa, I was like, that cannot happen in real life. That's not possible. And then I immediately knew, and I could hear, like, clearly hear, like, running through my mind, oh, I'm dreaming. And it just immense kind of euphoria or excitement kind of ran through me. And then I had to tell myself, whoa, calm down, calm down. Because when you get too excited in these lucid dreams, you'll just snap out of it and wake up. So I was like, okay. So I started to look at my arms, my dream arms. And I started walking up the hill, and I heard this voice call for me. It said, hello. And I was like, oh no, what's this? And I turn around, I don't see anything, but then I saw this owl in the tree. And I was like, well, I guess it was the owl that called me. There's nothing else here. And the interesting thing was that I used my mind to pull the bird out of the tree and had it right in front of me. So I was like almost using like, dream telekinesis. And I think by doing that, it kind of surprised me. And then I popped out and woke up. So yeah, that was one of not my very first lucid dream, but that was one of my early on ones.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it can be fun.
What? Being psychic, astral projection, and lucid dreaming can be fun.
Yeah.
Always.
Totally.
Almost always.
Yep.
So if someone wanted to sign up or, be in the fall class for clairvoyance, or even future classes down the line, can you tell us about that? And we'll put it in we'll put the link underneath the video.
Sure. Yeah. If you just go to greenlight.yoga, that's the web address. So there's plenty of information about, what we do and what we offer. If you click the tab meditation, you'll see the part where it says language of spirit training. That gives you a little bit more information about it. But essentially from the website, if you click schedule, that will give you a way to kind of access Mindbody and create an account, with us.
Someone needs to create an account in order to be able to take the class on the platform.
Yep. Yeah. That just gets you in Mindbody. So if they're really wanting to sign up for it, then they can kind of do it from there. But again, the prerequisite would be the meditation series. And I can teach that kind of privately, one-on-one, or in group sessions. I have to start that within the next couple of weeks, so that students can complete that meditation series, and then they can go right into the training. But yeah, they can kind of get that information via the website.
Okay. Greenlight.yoga.
Yep.
Any other parting words before we wrap here? Any other words to the wise, or anything else upcoming with the school?
No, I'd offer a lot of things, but I would say this is the next big thing that's happening. And I think that, again, if you're really wanting to make changes in your life, whether it's something about job or money or, relationships, or something
Those
about,
are always the biggies, right?
yeah,
money, work,
money,
relationship, money, work,
yep,
love.
yeah, health, everything. Yeah. And if I'd say, going within, learning how to meditate and go within and make those changes, and slowly over time, you start to get those results.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good time to go kind of within. That's my recommendation. Yeah.
And you also offer a whole bunch of workshops too, that it just blew my mind when I heard all the things you're doing.
Yeah.
And I like to think I know you well. It's like, what? You're doing that too?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a workshop every month. So if you go to the website and just click the tab workshops, it'll show you there's at least, I think, 12 of them. And there's one every month. And again, you can view that by clicking the schedule tab at the websites, and just kind of clicking through week by week and just seeing, what workshops being taught that particular month. I think in August, there's going to be a workshop on truth on survival. So we kind of,
timely.
yeah, that's for graduates of the meditation series. It doesn't matter if it's from my school or someone else's school, as long as they know basic meditation techniques, they can take it. But just looking at certain dichotomies of independence and dependence, employed, self-employed, poverty, wealth, just finding your freedom in those dichotomies, and finding your truth on survival. So
Wow.
We all have our own truth about how we want to provide for ourselves and survive.
And any other topics that, just off the top of your head, that are some of the workshop topics?
Oh God, there's a planetary healer workshop. There's you're running your personal healing energy. There's your willpower, your vibration of love. There's a male energy, female energy, which I believe sometime next year you'll be teaching that. So teaching women.
Clairvoyance.
Yep. So teaching women how to create a female grounding, just strengthen their grounding and run their female energy. That's that workshop. And then, we're going to be offering the women's.
Keep us busy for a lifetime.
Yeah. The women's clairvoyant training next year, which you'll be teaching as well. So that will be very exciting.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today and talking all about becoming clairvoyant in the school and the classes. And again, it's greenlight.yoga if you want more information on how to turn up your abilities, on being psychic, how to take clairvoyant class, where to sign up.
Yep. And
thank you so much for being on.
We'll
put the information below the video.
Sure. Yeah. It was a pleasure being on. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Thank you. And I'll see you on the astral.
Sounds good.
Right. Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome. See you.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.